Picture yourself sitting in the CELPIP test. You want to write important, but you've already used it twice. You want to say many people, but it feels too basic for CLB 10. You know you need to demonstrate vocabulary range, but the same everyday words keep appearing in your mind. Here's the truth. Most CELPIP candidates rely on the same common words throughout their exam. They write very nice and a lot of people again and again. And whilst these words are perfectly correct, they don't showcase the broad vocabulary range that CELPIP examiners reward with CLB 10, 11 and 12 scores. CELPIP candidates who score highest use a completely different approach. They've replaced those overused basic words with sophisticated alternatives that demonstrate their range of vocabulary. They know exactly which advanced synonyms to use in speaking and writing tasks, and they apply them naturally and confidently. This is how we help CELPIP students prepare strategically through our online courses. They get ready-to-use templates and vocabulary lists that show them exactly how to upgrade their vocabulary and use it effectively. With clear steps and smart preparation, they turn confusion into confidence. In this video, you'll learn advanced synonyms for 30 essential words you'll use constantly in the CELPIP. These are words that appear frequently in everyday Canadian contexts, so learning advanced alternatives is absolutely essential. By the end of this lesson, you'll be equipped with powerful vocabulary to boost your score. The first word that appears constantly in CELPIP responses is important. You'll use it frequently when giving advice in Speaking Task 1, discussing experiences in Speaking Task 2, or explaining your opinion in Writing Task 2. Most test takers rely on this word repeatedly. However, using the same word multiple times doesn't demonstrate the vocabulary range that examiners look for in CLB 10, 11 and 12 answers. A much more sophisticated alternative is significant. This word carries the same meaning but sounds considerably more advanced and precise. It's particularly effective when discussing meaningful changes, notable impacts, or important factors in your responses. Here's an example with the basic word. Finding a good work-life balance is important for employees. Here's the upgraded version. Finding a good work-life balance is significant for employees. Do you notice how the sentence immediately sounds more sophisticated? The second extremely common word is helpful. This appears everywhere in CELPIP responses, from helpful advice to helpful strategies to helpful information. While it's grammatically correct, it's also incredibly basic. CLB 10, 11 and 12 candidates use more precise alternatives. A brilliant upgrade is advantageous. This word is particularly effective when discussing benefits, positive outcomes, or favorable situations. It's formal, precise, and shows that you can use advanced vocabulary naturally. Here's an example. Flexible working hours are helpful for parents. This becomes flexible working hours are advantageous for parents. The word advantageous shows the CELPIP examiners that your vocabulary is advanced. Word number 3 is hard. Test takers use it constantly when discussing difficulties, obstacles, or demanding situations. This word is far too simple for high CLB scores. A much more impressive alternative is challenging. This advanced word suggests something that requires effort or skill, and it's particularly effective in professional and academic contexts. Here's an example. Learning a new language is hard for adults. Here's the upgraded version. Learning a new language is challenging for adults. Notice how challenging sounds more sophisticated and demonstrates better vocabulary range. The fourth common word is great, which appears frequently when describing excellent things, outstanding experiences, or impressive achievements. Most candidates say a great opportunity or a great experience, but this doesn't demonstrate the vocabulary range needed for higher scores. A far more sophisticated alternative is remarkable. This word suggests something worthy of attention or unusually good. It's particularly effective when discussing memorable experiences or exceptional qualities. Here's an example. Toronto offers great cultural diversity. This becomes Toronto offers remarkable cultural diversity. The word remarkable elevates your response immediately. Word number 5 is not enough, which test takers use when describing insufficient resources, limited support, or lacking conditions. A much better alternative is inadequate. This advanced word means not sufficient for a particular purpose, and it sounds significantly more formal. Here's an example. The parking spaces at the mall are not enough. Here's the upgraded version. The parking spaces at the mall are inadequate. This word is extremely advanced and shows the CELPIP examiners that you know sophisticated vocabulary. Another extremely common word is different, which appears constantly when discussing multiple types, diverse options, or varied perspectives. Everyone says different ways or different people. A sophisticated alternative is various. This word means several different types or range of, and it sounds significantly more formal and advanced. Here's an example. The community center offers different programs for seniors. This becomes the community center offers various programs for seniors. The word various demonstrates that you can vary your vocabulary naturally. Here is another commonly used word, meet. It appears frequently when discussing facing situations, experiencing problems, or coming across people in professional contexts. A sophisticated upgrade is encounter. This word means to unexpectedly experience or face something, and it's particularly effective in formal contexts. Here's an example. Newcomers to Canada often meet challenges with finding employment. This becomes newcomers to Canada often encounter challenges with finding employment. The word encounter is excellent for writing task to responses. So many test takers use the verb think when expressing opinions or describing thoughts. Everyone says, I think, repeatedly in speaking responses. A much more sophisticated alternative is consider. This word sounds more formal, thoughtful, and confident. Here's an example. I think remote work is beneficial for employees. Here's the upgraded version. I consider remote work beneficial for employees. Do you notice how consider sounds more confident and formal? You can also use alternatives like I believe or in my view to demonstrate even more vocabulary range. Let's talk about help, which appears constantly when giving advice, discussing support, or explaining how something aids a situation. A sophisticated upgrade is assist. This advanced word means to help or support someone, and it sounds more formal and professional. Here's an example. Mentorship programs help new employees adjust to workplace culture. This becomes mentorship programs assist new employees in adjusting to workplace culture. The next common word is say, which test takers use frequently when reporting what people express, recommend, or propose. A much better choice is suggest. This word sounds more formal and precise when discussing recommendations or proposals. Here's an example. The manager will say which option is better. Here's the upgraded version. The manager will suggest which option is better. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Now let's continue with 20 more synonyms that can help you boost your CELPIP score. Another word that gets overused is buy, which appears constantly when discussing acquiring goods, making transactions, or obtaining services. A sophisticated upgrade is purchase. This word means to buy something, and it sounds more formal and professional. Here's an example. Many Canadians buy groceries online now. This becomes many Canadians purchase groceries online now. Now, the 12th extremely common word is ask, which test takers use for everything from ask questions to ask for information. While it's correct, it's also very basic. A much more sophisticated alternative is inquire. This word means to ask for information, and it sounds significantly more formal. Here's an example. Customers can ask about the return policy at the service desk. Here's the upgraded version. Customers can inquire about the return policy at the service desk. This word is excellent for writing task 1. Let's examine try, which appears constantly in expressions like try to solve or try to improve. A sophisticated upgrade is attempt. This word emphasizes the effort to accomplish something and sounds more formal. Here's an example. The company will try to reduce waste. This becomes the company will attempt to reduce waste. Here's another basic word you've probably used many times. Fix. CELPIP test takers use this frequently when discussing solving problems or addressing issues. A much better choice is resolve. This word means to find a solution to a problem, and it sounds more formal and professional. Here's an example. The team needs to fix the communication issues. Here's the upgraded version. The team needs to resolve the communication issues. The 15th common word is say again, which appears when discussing repetition, highlighting importance, or stressing points. A sophisticated upgrade is emphasize. This word means to give special importance or prominence to something. Here's an example. I want to say again that punctuality is important in this workplace. This becomes, I want to emphasize that punctuality is important in this workplace. The word emphasize is extremely powerful in formal contexts. Tell someone to do is a phrase that test takers use frequently when giving advice or making suggestions. A much better choice is recommend. This word means to suggest something as being good or suitable, and it sounds significantly more sophisticated. Here's an example. I would tell you to arrive early for the interview. Here's the upgraded version. I would recommend arriving early for the interview. The word recommend is essential for CELPIP Speaking Task 1. Let's look at especially, which appears frequently when highlighting specific points or emphasizing particular aspects. A sophisticated upgrade is particularly. This word means to a higher degree than usual, and it sounds more formal. Here's an example. This strategy is especially useful for busy professionals. This becomes, this strategy is particularly useful for busy professionals. The word particularly demonstrates precise vocabulary use. Now, here's a word that gets used often. Just. Test takers use this when discussing simple actions, limited extent, or basic situations. Instead of saying just, you can say merely. This word suggests something small or unimportant, and it sounds more formal. Here's an example. The process takes just 5 minutes. Here's the upgraded version. The process takes merely 5 minutes. Another word you'll recognize immediately is about, which appears frequently when discussing estimates, rough numbers, or general timeframes. A much better choice is approximately. This word means close to a particular number or time, and it sounds more precise and formal. Here's an example. The meeting will start at about 3 o'clock. Here's the upgraded version. The meeting will start at approximately 3 o'clock. Word number 20 is a linking phrase. Also, CELPIP candidates use this constantly to add information or list multiple points. A sophisticated alternative is in addition. This formal linking phrase adds information while sounding significantly more academic and professional. Here's an example. The gym offers fitness classes. Also, it has a swimming pool. This becomes the gym offers fitness classes. In addition, it has a swimming pool. You can also use alternatives like furthermore or moreover to demonstrate even more vocabulary range. Let's talk about another linking word, but. It appears constantly when contrasting ideas or presenting opposing viewpoints. A sophisticated upgrade is nevertheless. This formal linking word creates contrast while sounding significantly more advanced. Here's an example. The job requires long hours, but the salary is competitive. This becomes the job requires long hours. Nevertheless, the salary is competitive. Notice that nevertheless typically comes at the beginning of a new sentence, followed by a comma. Next up is so. CELPIP candidates frequently use this word to show results or consequences. A much better choice is consequently. This formal linking word shows logical consequence while sounding more academic and professional. Here's an example. The restaurant received excellent reviews, so it became very popular. This becomes the restaurant received excellent reviews. Consequently, it became very popular. The word consequently is excellent for CELPIP writing task 2. Now let's examine about, which appears constantly when introducing topics or referencing subjects. A sophisticated upgrade is regarding. This formal word introduces a topic or subject and sounds more professional. Here's an example. I'm writing about your recent inquiry. This becomes I'm writing regarding your recent inquiry. The word regarding is perfect for formal emails in writing task 1. Here's another basic word that appears everywhere. Quick. Many CELPIP candidates use this frequently when discussing fast responses, prompt actions, or rapid changes. A much better choice is immediate. This formal word means happening without delay, and it sounds significantly more professional. Here's an example. We need a quick solution to this problem. This becomes, we need an immediate solution to this problem. Moving forward, let's discuss forever, which appears when discussing lasting situations or enduring conditions. A sophisticated upgrade is permanent. This word means lasting or intended to last indefinitely, and it sounds more formal. Here's an example. The changes to the policy will last forever. Here's the upgraded version. The changes to the policy will be permanent. This word is perfect for formal contexts. The next word you probably use too much is thing. Many test takers use it when discussing topics, subjects, or issues. A much better choice is matter. This word means a subject or situation under consideration, and it sounds more formal. Here's an example. This is an important thing to discuss. Here's the upgraded version. This is an important matter to discuss. You can also use alternatives like issue or topic to showcase even more vocabulary range. Let's look at way, which appears frequently in expressions like the best way or a different way. A sophisticated upgrade is approach. This word means a way of dealing with something, and it sounds more formal and professional. Here's an example. There's a better way to handle customer complaints. This becomes, there's a better approach to handling customer complaints. Another extremely common word is understand. Many candidates use it constantly when discussing grasping concepts, following instructions, or recognizing situations. A much better choice is comprehend. This formal word means to understand something fully, and it sounds significantly more sophisticated. Here's an example. It's important to understand the company's policies. Here's the upgraded version. It's important to comprehend the company's policies. Word number 29 is look at. It appears frequently when discussing reviewing information, considering options, or analyzing situations. A sophisticated upgrade is examine. This formal word means to inspect or investigate something carefully. Here's an example. We need to look at all the available options. Here's the upgraded version. We need to examine all the available options. Finally, the last common expression is a lot of. Many CELPIP test takers use it constantly in speaking responses. While it's perfectly natural in conversation, it's quite informal for high-scoring responses. A much better choice is numerous. This word means many or consisting of a large number, and it sounds more formal and sophisticated. Here's an example. Vancouver has a lot of job opportunities in the tech sector. Here's the upgraded version. Vancouver has numerous job opportunities in the tech sector. The word numerous is perfect for demonstrating your vocabulary range in both CELPIP speaking and writing. That's it! Those are 30 synonyms you must know to score highly on the CELPIP test. If you're serious about achieving the CELPIP score you need, check out our CELPIP packages using the link below. We provide step-by-step guidance and complete templates for speaking and writing, so you'll feel confident on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their CELPIP score too. See you in the next video!